Went to Grand Rapids Comic Con. Got a few books. Let's see what I got. And let's see if I completed any runs. Okay, so thanks for hanging around. Um, I'm Mark Stanislawski. I'm also Good Ideas Comics. I went to Grand Rapids Comic Con. Um, that was several weeks ago now. As I'm recording this, I visited every single comic vendor that was at the Comic Con in Grand Rapids. I did not buy from all of them, obviously. There were a couple that were just outrageously priced. They had like dollar bin bulk fodder for like $5 a piece, which is ridiculous. But um, I did buy from a bunch. I bought stuff that I was looking for. Let's um, let's start and get into this haul because as you saw in the intro, I got quite a bit of books, so it's going to take a bit to get through this. But let's start. Um, this first bunch of books, I came across a vendor who had long boxes of stuff that they were selling for like a dollar and under. So I was like, yeah, sure, dollar and under. I'll comb through these. I'll comb through these boxes and see what I can find. Maybe I can find some stuff that I'm really looking for. Um, and I did. I actually found quite a bit. Um, let's start with this. This is the 1990s Deathlock series. I do have the first prestige format miniseries um, that I read, bought it off the newsstand or bought it from the direct. It's a direct, it's not a newsstand. But bought that, liked it. I do have the first issue of this series. I have the annual. I think I have the first annual. Um, but at that time, I was a kid. Well, I was a young adult, so I only had so much money, and there were other more important things that I needed to buy. So this kind of fell to the wayside. But I got a bunch of issues. That's issue 5, issue 8. As you can see, there the price tags on there, a buck. I'm let's continue with this, and I'll go over what I was going to say later. Issue 16, 75 cents. Issue 23, 75 cents. Issue 24, 75 cents. Deathlock is a character I like. I have a lot of Deathlock stuff, and yeah, I'd like to complete this run if I can. Now let's continue. Let's go to this one next. Punisher War Journal 71 for 75 cents. As a lot of you know, I am endeavoring to finish my uh, Punisher runs of uh, the first trilogy of books that the Punisher had: Punisher, Punisher War Journal, Punisher War Zone. Um, I was surprised to find this in there, 71 for 75 cents. Hell yeah! Took it immediately. Triumphant Unleashed issue 0. It's a free issue. It was 50 cents. When I came upon this, I did not know that this thing existed. I know that the Triumphant books had like an Unleashed storyline that ran through all the titles. I did not know that it had a 2 issue Unleashed book, and this one was free. Uh, I'm gonna go through the triumphant, and we're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about the numbering, and we're going to talk about the triumphant books in general, and what they were and how they were. There's a video coming on that soon, but I saw Unleash Zero for 50 cents and absolutely snapped it up. And I also have Dr. Chaos #1. I have Dr. Chaos #2. Saw #1, 50 cents. Absolutely could not pass it up. Um, Working on trying to get all of the triumphant books complete. This next one is an interesting book. It is First Comics Sable. This is the second series after Mike Grell's John Sable, from First ended, and then they came up with a second run, um, written and drawn by a bunch of different people. I bought like the first 13 issues, um, and want to see if I can complete this run as well. So that's issue 14. Later issue 23, which actually looks like some pretty decent art. I like this. And then issue 26. Um, so yeah, hopefully they 75 cents. I mean, originally I guess they were priced at $5 a piece. Yeah, these are not $5 books. These are literally dollar books. So got another one here. I came across these in this. This is all from the same vendor. Um, I came across these and I had to double check my database and make sure that I actually still had the first two issues, because I bought the first two issues of this book and didn't continue after the first two issues. Um, Hellstorm, Prince of Lies, issue 5, issue 7, 75 cents, issue 9. So all the odd issues, but I have the first two issues. Um, I know it was begun, written by Warren Ellis, and then somebody else took over after at some point. But I saw these, had to make sure that I still had the first two issues. Um, you know that I didn't sell them off. I did, so I was like, this is another book that I'm interested in completing, just to read and see if it was any good, for sure. This is another oddity. Shaman's Tears, Mike Grell's Shaman's Tears, issue 5 and issue 7. 50 cents, 50 cents again. There's a $5 price tag on it. These are dollar bin books. Shaman's Tears is part of my um, is part of my Image curiosity. I got a bunch of Image books because I didn't really, after the first few titles, and I've said this on previous videos, I didn't really wasn't crazy about Image comics after the first few. Savage Dragon, Spawn, a Young Blood. So I kind of got away from Image. This is I have the first few issues of Shaman's Tears. This is a really weird book, and it looks like it gets weirder because it looks like Grell's John Sable makes an appearance in Shaman's Tears. So it looks like it's going to get weirder. But it is a weird book. But I want to complete this run and read it and see exactly how weird it gets. Yeah. but for 50 cents, I couldn't pass it up. I'm trying to complete it. Let's move on. Yeah, these two. Thriller number 9 and Thriller number 10. I love this cover. These are the last two issues I needed to complete my Thriller run. This book came out in, oh, I want to say the 80s, right? 1984. 1984 is when Thriller came out. 83, 84. Uh, I bought the first 5 issues, 6 issues, and it only lasted, I think, 11 or 12 issues. It barely lasted a year because it wasn't a superhero book, so nobody probably bought it. But I bought the first 5 issues of Thriller, Trevor Von Eden art. I loved it. But again, at that time, I just had limited funds. There were other stuff coming out that I wanted more. So there was a bunch of issues that I missed, and these were the last 2 issues I needed to complete the run. Alex Nino is a great artist. He is certainly one of the goats. I love his art, and yeah, I'm looking forward to rereading Thriller as well and revisit this great series. Um, so this is if my recommendation. If you've never read Thriller, uh, you could probably find the whole run in dollar bins, 50-cent bins, and definitely get it, read it. I think it's excellent. Let's move on. Random issue of Justice League Dark, number 34. I believe this is volume one, too. I do have a few issues working on the Justice League Dark. It was $1, so why not? Mm, older issue of Johnny Quest from Comico or Kamiko. I don't know. People are saying it's pronounced Kamiko, but to me that doesn't make sense because it's a comic, so it should be Comico. But they say it's pronounced Kamiko. I call it Comico because it makes more sense to me. But later issue 20, for $1, couldn't pass it up. Green Lantern 52, Mongol, Kyle Rayner for $1. Why not? Right? Again, these next few are kind of weirdos. We got Manhunter 15 and Manhunter 20. For some reason, now I started reading this book and I enjoyed it. Want to complete the run, but for some reason, there are certain issues that people are trying to sell for. To me, I mean, to me, this is like $1.50 book, and as you can see, these 2 issues are 50 cents a piece. But there are certain issues in and around this area, later in the run that uh, people are selling or trying to sell for stupid amounts of money. And I don't really know why. Is it maybe the whole low print end of run stigma thing that everyone's crazy about? I don't know, but I have been able to pick up. I've been able to pick up the last issue of this Manhunter, and I've been able to pick up a lot of the run for $1 a book. So, why should I pay, you know, $5 a book for something that hopefully chances are I'm going to find for $1 in the dollar bins? But I don't know. We'll see. Let's move on. Here's another image book, Dooms 4 number 2. I read Dooms 4 number 1. It was okay. It was okay. good enough for me to pick up issue 2, and for 50 cents, why not? All right, let's move to this Marvel book. Also trying to complete this run, Quasar 28 for 50 cents. Quasar 32 for 50 cents. Quasar 33 for 50 cents. And Quasar 34 for 50 cents. Why not? I have a bunch of Quasar issues. I've been able to get them for 50 cents, a buck each. This looks like a Greg Capullo cover. I think he did a lot of the interior art and a lot of these issues. But and that's fine. I like Quasar, and I know at this point they were getting a lot of more cosmic, kind of like a Green Lantern type thing, which is what I like. So, yeah, let's you know hoping to complete this run as well. Let's continue. Just started to get these image books again. Trying to track down a lot of Warren Ellis, and this is one of them. DV8 number 6, DV8 number 7. Whoops, this is number 7. DV8 number 7 and DV8 number 8. As you can see, they're what, 50 cents a piece. This is all still the same vendor. Ninja Elite. There were, what is this, Adventure Comics? I think this was Adventure Comics. There were a bunch of ninja type comics, Ninja Elite, Ninja, that I think were both produced by Adventure Comics that I wanna get. I'm a martial arts guy, love Master of Kung Fu, so these books interest me. There's also a title called Shuriken, which is another independent book that I want to get my hands on as well. Yeah, so I figured I saw this for a buck, pick it up, give it a read, see if try to track down all the other issues. Let's continue. Hmm. Okay, so I think that was it for that vendor. I think that was it for that vendor. And I bought all those. Let's see, how many books were there? 'Cause I brought all these books to her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. Um, 23. It looks like there's 31 books here, and she charged me 20 bucks. So I guess it was under $1 a book, even though there were a bunch of books in here that were $1. She charged me 20 bucks for the pile. Eh, So, and there's 31 books here, so under $1 per book. All right, let's check these out. I came across these books in at another vendor. Wasn't really crazy about getting these because I mean, to me, they're kind of on the verge of being overpriced. But in the interest of trying to complete a run, and this is the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2. Um, so there's issue 10. As you can see, it was $4. Issue 13, $5. I think that's overpriced. Issue 17 for 5. Issue 23 for 5. Issue 24 for 4. And issue 26 for 4. I mean, I don't know. You let me know. What do you think? Do you think these are a little on the overpriced side? I know Volume 2, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2. I mean, I guess that's right. 4 to 5, but I don't know. The $5 books, I don't know. I don't know. 23, I don't know why that's $5. But anyway, he had them. I needed them to try and complete the run. I picked them up. Let me know what you think. Did I overpay? To me, yeah, I think I probably did, but we'll see. I think this was a separate vendor here, and I have no idea what volume this is. I think this is volume 4 of Amazing Spider-Man. So he had, I'm looking for issues of this with the Alex Ross cover. So that's Amazing Spider-Man 13, Alex Ross covers, $2, 20 for $2, and 21 for $2. I have a lot of the Clone Conspiracy books, and think I think this completes what I needed for the entire Clone Conspiracy story. But for $2 a piece, I was like, yeah, I'll take it for $2 a piece. And I think that was all I got at this vendor. I'm not sure. Let's see. Found these. This is again at a different vendor. Um, these are Volume 1 Amazing Spider-Man's. Amazing Spider-Man 540 for $3. 541 for $3. I need these issues. And 543 for $3. So I needed those. Got them $3 a piece. Why not? This next batch, I got from a vendor. He, this vendor is usually at all of the Grand Rapids shows. He's at the Grand Rapids Comic Con in Grand Rapids, and they have a Grand Rapids Comic Con, and they do in Kalamazoo in the spring, and he's usually at that show also. And he always lists his books have stickers on them with prices, and he always says they're 50% off, they're half off, whatever the price is on the sticker. So I've gotten a ton of stuff from him. And so I was going through more. There was more. I got a lot of later Silver Surfer issues from him for a pretty good deal. So when I saw him there, I was like, well, let's see what he's got and what I can get for a good price. Went into the Silver Surfer bin. He had issue 80, so that was $2. 81 for $3, 84 for $2, 85 for $2, 90 for $2. Um, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3, number 14. This is the last part of the Spider-Verse saga for $3. I thought that was a great deal. And then Volume 3, number 18 for $2, which is another one I needed. I was good with that. Sensational Spider-Man Volume 2, number 26. If you saw my previous video, I'm trying to hurry up and complete the Sensational Spider-Man run. I only need, well, at that time, I only needed a few issues, and this is one of them. So for $2, I was like, yep, I will take that. That'll help me complete that run. I'm getting one issue closer. And this is the second volume of Spectacular Spider-Man, issue 24, Greg Land cover, pretty decent cover. I believe this ended with issue 25 or 26. 25 or 26. So, but I have most of these issues as well. Um, Again, trying to complete Spider-Man runs, and I'm close. All of these titles, I'm very close to completing. He also, and I says, well, let me try and see if he has these, and he did. And again, I thought they were a good price. Shogun Warriors, as everyone knows, I'm trying to complete this run. I had a few of these books back in the day and gave them away to somebody in my neighborhood because I only had a couple issues, and I don't know. I regret giving them away, so I'm trying to complete this run. So Shogun Warriors number 5 for $3, number 11 for $3, number 15 for $3, and number 17 for 2. He lists this. He puts grades on them too, and he says this is a 6.5. It actually looks pretty decent for a 6.5. So, but I'm not going to open it up. Yeah, Shogun Warriors books. So I'm getting much closer on completing that run. He also had GI Joe Frontline number 3 for $2. I have issue 4 to 11, 4 to 12, something like that. So when I saw number 3, I was like, yeah, sure, let's do. Trying to get the older GI Joe stuff to see what that is, if that's any good. Haven't read any Frontline yet. I want to try to get this whole series before I read it. And also picked up from him Batman Annual 8 for $4. Um, the Batman Annuals, I think eight was like the first annual in the 80s. Like Annual 7 was like, I think it was in the 60s, and then it took them like 20 years, and then they finally did an Annual 8, and then this is like all new material, and I needed it. I don't have Annual 8, so it was good to see it. I mean, for $4, why not? So this next vendor, he had a few things. Actually, hold on. I may have mixed some stuff up. Let's see. I think Yeah. I think it was the same vendor I got these Spider-Man books at. He also had I didn't notice that before. Interesting. He had some GI Joe special missions, and he had Special Missions 3. Now, the funny thing is that I have issues 2 and 3 of GI Joe Special Missions. Um, but these were double-sided, so I did not have issue 7, so I got issue 7, and I told the guy, I was like, "Look, this one is double-sided, um, but I also got this one, and this is also issue 3. Now, what's the difference? It's a newsstand." And I did not realize it at the time because I wanted this one, which is issue 4. Didn't even realize it was a double on this one. So I actually, and I already have issue 3, so I actually have 3 issues of GI Joe Special Missions number 3. I believe I have 2 directs and a newsstand now. Um, I, I don't know. Guess it's okay. But you know what? I also got Special Missions 19, but he gave me a deal, and I basically, these are like a buck a piece, a buck, a buck, a buck. So he basically gave me these 2 issues for free because I only paid, this is what? This is 6. Actually, I had more than that because I only paid $8. So 7, 8. So he gave me like 1, 2, he gave me like 3 issues for free. Nice guy. I wish I could remember the vendor's name, but super nice guy. Um we were talking about comics in general, and he had a bunch of Invincible on his wall, and he was kind of surprised that they weren't selling. Um and so was I. I mean, Invincible is a big deal, but yeah, I was kind of surprised. And you know what? At the time, I didn't even realize this was a newsstand. And actually, I didn't even know because I thought it was a single sided. I thought it was single number 4. I didn't even realize that it was a double. So, last set of books. You know what I'm going to do? Let's do this one first. This is, since I'm a big indie guy, this is a book that I had picked up at the last uh, Grand Rapids Con, and he was at that. And nice guy. He has a bunch of books there, but War Lion was the book that interested me. Uh, so I picked up issues 1 and 2 and read them, and I thought it was good. Who was it? Henri Campan. Um, and I thought it was good, so I wanted to get issue 3 because at the time when I picked up 1 and 2, number 3 wasn't out. And I said, "Well, when's number 3 coming out?" And he says, "Well, next year." So this was the next year. So when I went there, I says, "You got number 3?" And he's like, "Yep." So interested in reading this. I believe he has a YouTube channel as well. But cool guy, nice guy. He makes comics. Um, I like to support guys, and it's a decent book. It's a decent book for sure. So I picked that up from him just to complete that run. So this next small batch of books I got, this was the first vendor I went to when I showed up at the con, and I'm gonna let you know why I'm showing you these last. Okay, so the first bug I picked up, Sensational Spider-Man 28. Sorry, not 26, 28. Um, $3. So I says, heck yeah. A lot of his stuff was a little more on the expensive side. But when I saw this for $3, and don't ask me why, but for some reason I absolutely hate this cover. Don't know why. I can't pinpoint it. Can't tell you why I hate it. There's just something about this cover that really irks the crap out of me, and I hate it. But again, I needed these. I am one issue short of completing this run of Sensational Spider-Man. Um, but for $3, why not? Saw this in there, Punisher War Journal 72. Wasn't sure about this one. I think it's overpriced at $5, but I've been checking online and can't really find it anywhere for a cheaper price. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. I still think I overpaid for $5. But I think this next and last book made up for it because as I was flipping through the boxes, I came across this and I couldn't believe it. Uh, Spider-Man number 1, gold. It's a second print, and he had a price tag on it for $10. Kind of surprising because when I saw it, I said, "Wait a minute, this is Spider-Man number 1, gold, Todd McFarlane, second print. This is a $30 to $50 book, and he has a $10 price tag on it." Uh, totally grabbed it and bought it immediately. Didn't even think about it. And actually, the next vendor I went to that I didn't buy anything at, he had one of these on his wall for $30. And this one, it's not a 9.8. I don't even think it's got two spine ticks or spine bends, whatever you want to call them. Maybe a very fine plus. Um, it's kind of funny because when I was talking at the other guy that I got at the GI Joe Special Missions from, I told him that, hey, I found this for $10 in the other bin, and he was like, "What, really?" And I said, "Yeah." And at the time, I was like, "Geez, I hope there's not like a page missing out of it, and that's why it was only $10." I didn't even check it or anything. I just when I saw it for 10, I immediately snapped it up. Um, because I have the other covers. I have the regular cover, I have the black and silver, and I said, "Why not? Let me see if I can get a decent priced second print just to complete the cover collection." And so I'd have all three, the two and that. I'm not even going to try to look for the platinum or anything like that. And so I've got the two covers plus the second print. I thought it was an unbelievably excellent price, so absolutely snapped it up. And that's it. That's my that's my Grand Rapids Comic Con haul. Um, I almost completed one run, Sensational Spider-Man. I did complete the Thriller run. Um, I got closer to completing a bunch of other runs. Saw some saw some weirdo books. The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2. I'm really close to completing this. I only need a few more issues. The weirdo ninja elite book. Definitely want to check that out. But hey, thanks for hanging with me. Let me know what you think. I think that a lot of these books are appropriately priced. I think there are a few that I probably overpaid for, but I'm okay with that. And there's a bunch that I underpaid for, so yeah, I guess it all evens out in the end, right? But thanks for tuning in, and as always, take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the funny pages.